Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome back to another NIKKE reaction. Today we have Into the Fire as requested by fucking everybody on the last video. I assume it's because it's another new one and it probably has a similar popularity to that last song as well. So I'm just gonna jump into this and see what it has in store because with all the people asking and all the hype, it better be good. And I suppose without further ado, let's go!
Shadows on battlefields, sighting the ashes fall.
Damn, okay. Woo! God, that goes hard right away. The drums are wild.
Shifting sands, cries make echoes, but no voices land. The field burns red. We take the next step into the fire, into the flames. We rise again.
I love the processing on the vocalist too. Like,
But if the path is torn, we carve our fate out.
the layering in octaves is really cool, but also the effects they're adding.
Sky is cracked, but we push on. The light shines, guiding us till the battlefront.
Also, of course, Cosmograph's like signature synths. Woo! That's gotta be a NieN solo, right? Woo! God damn! Oh, that was stanky! Woo.
The gods will see all the battles to achieve. Blazing fire and written battle for the hand. Broken kind of heart, but with that here once.
God, this goes hard.
Into the fire, into
I think I recognize that riff there. Was that a motif from something? Maybe it was just similar.
But if the path is torn, we carve our fate out.
I mean, it felt very familiar.
The sky is cracked, but we push on. The light shines, guiding us till the battlefront.
God,
So now we march till dawn.
this hits like a brick wall. Not just a brick. Like if a brick wall was being thrown at you. That's what this feels like.
The burning flame now calls my name. A soul
Ooh.
consumed, yet it still stays untamed. No fate
I like that
no chains remain.
snare build there. It's like pseudo-militant.
Into the flames, we rise again. We take another stand. We take another stand. But if the path is torn, we carve our fate away. We carve our fate away.
Ah, yeah, okay. I get it. I get why people were so excited for me to get to this. This makes sense now. It's got such a great melody, like the top line is insanely good. Breakdown. Ooh, double time breakdown. Okay, go a little bit thrash with it. Hell yeah. Hell yeah! I really thought it was gonna end with like a standard breakdown, but no, they thrash metaled that shit. That's sick as hell. All right, there's a bunch to love about this song. I also looked at the credits. I was right about NieN being the guitarist. I mean, again, it's just a NieN thing, right? Like you can see him a mile away. You can hear his solos. There's just a flavor that he adds to it that you can tell it's NieN. And I was like, that's gotta be a NieN solo. But Victor Borba being the vocalist, so they brought back the same vocalist as Bury the Light, and also for those who don't know, Claire Obscure, which I've talked about before. I don't see that because this style of vocal is so vastly different from that I would have never anticipated it being the same person. And I didn't know until I like looked it up and made sure that I wasn't going crazy with the whole bury the light thing, and I wasn't, but also they had Clair Obscur on there, and I'm like, whoa, I didn't even know that was him. You know, like that's what's insane to me. So like, wow, just insane range. I never would have guessed. But like I was kind of talking about during the song, it has all of that Cosmograph flair that we love. It's got all of the NieN flair that we love. And you can tell that there's a lot of communication going on in how this song came to life. And I think a lot of that is due to those two just getting along and understanding each other so well. I'm sure that Cosmograph did most of the composition on this one, but then when you bring in NieN to do something on the guitar, it's like, okay, listen to NieN, pull from those ideas, let NieN do their thing for the solo or 2 or 3, however many solos he wants, honestly, let him do it, and then you just build the song around that. Again, the synths in there are so telling of Cosmograph's style. I love that there's just a thing that Cosmograph has where you can always tell that it's his style of synth. It's specifically that. I've heard that same synth in plenty of things. It's not like it's a super unique sound, but whenever you hear it in a video game theme, you're like, that's gotta be Cosmograph, right? And it usually is. So I think that's just a thing, a flavor profile that he brings as well, that iconic little detail. It's kind of a voice tag to an extent. Like, voice tags don't have to just be like, DJ Khaled or whatever else. It can be stuff like this, an accent, anything that's consistent across all of your work. And I think that might be Cosmograph's. I don't know if it's intentional, but he always has that same synth in there, and I love it because I can tell it's him. And that immediately like gives you that warmth of like, oh yeah, I'm familiar with this producer and what this is going to sound like. You just know you're about to hear fire, or you are listening to fire. It's just one of those details that make producers so unique to each other, is adding something that is uniquely them. And also, just like I was talking about during the song too, this is so fun. It's so well written. That top line is insane. For those who don't know what a top line is specifically, it's like the vocal line and like the main melody, everything that sits on top and kind of keeps the narrative of the song going. Usually it's the vocal line, and in this case definitely is. It was a very, very memorable vocal line, and sometimes you get boring ones where it's just like, okay, let's play it safe, let's do a couple of notes, like bouncing between 2 or 3, maybe going up for a high note, you know, whatever it needs to do. But this one had so much movement. It was so fun. It was freeing, and that makes the song feel that much more freeing as well. It's just a great energy to bring to such a banger sound. This modern metal with a little bit of synth thrown in is something that a lot of producers do, and I love it too because it has such a good energy. I feel like until maybe about a decade ago, not a lot of people were doing this. Maybe the new metal scene with groups like Linkin Park were messing around with adding synthetic sounds to their music, and of course they already had this like heavy rock sound and occasionally metal, and I feel like that got more popular in like the mid 2010s, and I love that it's still prevalent and it still has an amazing foothold in the musical scene, because you get stuff like this where it's just a good time. It's well mixed, it's well produced, as it always is from Cosmograph and friends. It's just amazing work. I can't, like, it's still playing in my head, and the fact that it goes so long and never stops moving, the evolution of this song always had something new coming in. It wasn't just a couple verses, a couple of choruses on repeat. They didn't just do that and get out of the way. They decided to do little things like these breakdowns and these like little bridge segments in here, especially that end. Double timing that was a brilliant choice. Like, most songs would have gone for the halftime breakdown because that's the energy they were kind of leaning into with that. I really thought they were going to go for a halftime break, but they were like, no, we got to pump it up just one more time on the way out to make sure that this song sticks in your mind for something more unique, because not a lot of songs in the grand scheme of things choose to do that right at the end of the song. And also, just one of those other subtle details in this song, the bass player, euPhemia, I believe, amazing work in here. Really not something I get to talk about a lot because it's not that impressive most of the time, but for this one, it added such a great plucky texture underneath, especially the chorus, like in the pre-choruses. It's just, oh man, you could hear like the pluck look of the bass in there. That's not a texture that tends to show up in most people's mixes, and even all of Cosmograph's stuff before, unless he's using a live band. It's just like, there's a texture in that of having the player play and allowing them to do their thing, where there's just this beautiful little sprinkle of seasoning right on the top, or I guess on the bottom. Either way, you get the point. Like, this fact that it feels so much more organic just by having that, like, the string kind of crunching and slapping in the background, it just feels so good, and it's so much heavier than it could have been. The rhythm section was really holding this song together. We had great stuff all around. The rhythm section is insane. The drums were kind of going nuts, and honestly, if I were to write it, I might do some different things. I feel like Cosmograph was being a little bit optimistic about some of the choices, but that doesn't mean it was bad. It was just like, okay, that's a little bit much here, a little bit much here, back it off a little bit maybe. But of course, that's also coming from a drummer's perspective, so I'm going to hear those little details in how it was arranged, and I'll be like, yeah, I don't know if they should have done that, but overall it sounded fine. There were just some spots in the drums where I'm like, that's a little bit much, but the rhythm section for the guitar and the bass, fucking brilliant. It was super clean, it had all of the beef it needed, and again, with those little textures in there, not throughout the whole song, just certain sections of it, where it really just sprung out of the mix, you know, like you could really hear it. It was mostly in this ear, so if you're using headphones to listen, really pay attention on the low end in that ear and you'll be able to hear it. It's just really, really nice. But really, really nice is pretty much the standard for Cosmograph's work, so I really have nothing else to say. I think I've gushed enough about this one. I'm gonna go listen to it again. Thank you all so very much for watching. If you have another song you want me to get to from NIKKE, by all means, drop in the comments below as always, and I will do my best to get to those. Or if you don't want to do any of that, maybe you just want to follow me and support me for more stuff coming in the future, you know how to do all that, and I will see all of you in the next video. Goodbye!